Hi there, welcome to Neppy Invest. So, exciting company I'm looking at today, Skyfii. ASX code is SKF for those who look at that sort of thing. But a very exciting company because I've recently added Skyfii to one of my more important watch lists that I really focus on. And this watch list is focusing on companies that I think have the potential to reach their inflection point soon or have just reached it potentially. And typically, what I find is that companies who reach their inflection point tend to run really hard, and we see massive growth in share price and market value in the next few years after they reach that point. So not all companies do that. Sometimes they reach that inflection point and then back off, but usually that inflection point is probably the most important point of a company's life cycle. So I'm always on the lookout for companies like that, and Skyfii might be in that realm now. So let's have a look at one of the two main reasons why I'm interested in this company. First one is their operating cash flow. So market cap of 78 million, which is not too shabby for what I'm looking at here. So receipts from customers, $3.8 million. But it's that bottom line there, operating cash flow in positive to the tune of 724,000. And they have been operating cash flow positive in the past, but I like to see that sort of number grow moving forward. So I think they are getting to the point where I think they are within sight of that inflection point in any case. So that's one reason why I've become excited about this company and put them onto the watch list. Second reason is this, the history, receipts history chart. And one of the things I really look for is trends upward in their cash receipts. And there's without doubt, there is an upward trend in their cash receipts. In fact, this chart reminds me of MyNet Phone, which I don't think it's called MyNet Phone anymore. It's MNF Group, which is MNF, their ticker code. When I looked at their past, going back to something like 2012-13, they had a very linear trend upwards, slow linear trend upwards in cash receipts. But it was enough where when they reached their inflection point, the share price and the market value of the company just took off. So I actually did a bit of research in companies like that, and MyNet Phone was a good example. And cash receipts of Skyfii look fairly similar to the trend, very slow linear trend upwards of MyNet Phone. So that's another reason why I put them onto my inflection point watch list. So some people might find it unprofessional to see spelling errors or errors within a report. So this is one error that I did find just by chance. Revenues in that first bit up the top, which should be recurring revenues. So very easy mistake to make. I'm not going to judge a company on mistakes, very simple mistakes like that. I know what they're talking about. Everyone should know what they're talking about here because that little section is on recurring revenues. The reason I've included that, even with the mistake there, is that recurring revenues are one of the things I really look for in a company that I'm going to buy. So in the Skyfii's case, they have annual recurring revenues of $11 million. And one little thing I do to value companies with annual recurring revenues is it's very simplistic. All I do is times the annual recurring revenue by 10, and that gives a very simplistic valuation of a company. So you could say for Skyfii, if you times that by 10, a very simplistic value of the company would be $110 million. Now that's not taking into account growth rate of annual recurring revenues at all, or other factors. It's a very simplistic. I wouldn't use that to value a company, so I wouldn't say Skyfii should be valued at 110, but it's one little metric I do look at. They do have cash of $2.7 million, and no debt, so that gives a little bit of a tick. Share price, so this is a 1 year daily share price. So we haven't seen much of an increase in share price during the year, but around early August, we potentially saw a bit of an uptrend forming, so around the 15 cents or so. No great volume increases, which is the one little negative about that. And we've seen twice a share price in early October and late October. Share price went down to meet the 100-day moving average, which is that blue line, and bounced off it really good. So that would have been an ideal time to buy. Some investors would, that sort of decrease in share price would make them nervous, especially that's a daily decrease in price. So So it's not too shabby this, a good uptrend potentially forming. And I think they have a few things going for it, this company. So that's all I've got on Skyfii in this video. I might do a bigger or more in-depth video on Skyfii just because I've entered one of my watch lists, and there is potential of this company moving forward. So if you are a shareholder, maybe leave some comments about the company, what you've found out, why you're interested in the company, and then maybe in a few months I'll do a video, a more in-depth video.